So نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the book of paradise today, alhamdulillah, with the mercy and blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will take some time on the clothing of that we are going to get in Jannah, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who will be people of paradise and they get adorned with this clothing. So reminding ourselves that Jannah awaits us. It's all up to us that we ask for it. So make sure that you at least ask for Jannah at least 3 times in a day, and ask from saving from hellfire at least 3 times in a day as well. Why? Because in Jannah makes dua for you, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps us to keep that visualization. And sometimes you may come across clothing, like if you have ever gone shopping for clothing. Have you ever gone there? Azra, did you go for clothes shopping? Put this away for now. Have you gone for clothes shopping? So if you go and sometimes you find a very nice dress and a very good deal, but you can't wear it. Why? Because as a believer that is not fitting you, right? And this has low cuts or something other, or something is not right about that dress. So inshallah your sabr will not go to waste. When you refrain yourself from wearing such clothing which is not okay for us as a Muslimah, as a Muslim, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna wear this body hugging clothes, I'm not gonna wear something which gonna show my body parts like that, then I want you to remind yourself with this ayah, inshallah. So if you note down, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَجَزَاءَهُمْ بِمَا صَبَرُوا جَنَّةً وَحَرِيرًا. And because they were patient and constant, He will reward them with a garden and garments of silk. So silk is even very expensive even in times of today. So if you go and you look for the pure silk clothing, you will find it is very expensive. And those gowns, they cost a fortune. Some of those clothings, it's interesting to see even the prices for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that inna Allah yudkhilul ladina amanu wa amilus salihati jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar yuhallawna fiha min asawira min dhahabin wa lu'lu'i wa libasuhum fiha harir. Indeed, Allah will admit those who believe and do righteous deeds to gardens beneath which rivers flow. They will be adorned therein with the bracelets of gold and pearl, and their garments therein will be silk. Has anybody seen a silkworm? How silk is made, even, subhanallah. So it's interesting how in the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all these creations are there, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us a glimpse here, and it will be there in the hereafter for sure. So again, another place Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in Surah Fatir, verse number 33, that for them are the gardens of perpetual residence which they will enter. They will be adorned therein with bracelets of gold and pearls, and their garments therein will be silk. So the repetition of this word harir and the zahab and lu'lu. So the gold and pearls, here we do so much, so to attain this little gold and stuff. But there you will see this all will be given to the people of paradise, those who have been giving their zakah, they have been doing the righteous deeds. They will be getting access to them. And in Surah Al-Insan, verse number 22, alayhim thiyabun sundusin khudrum wa istabraq. Upon the inhabitants will be green garments of fine silk and brocade. So again, if you ever go, shopping for clothing, you will see these textures. And they will be adorned with bracelets of silver. And their Lord will give them a purifying drink. Rabbuhum sharaban tahura. So even if you're wearing the fanciest of the clothes, what do we like? We like to have good drinks, and we like to eat. So subhanallah, imagine that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is offering a drink at that time. So even if we enjoyed our food right now, we would like, let me have a drink with it, subhanallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the best clothing and the best of these perks and benefits. Rasul sallam also told us that the people of paradise will have combs of gold and silver, and that they will perfume themselves with ud at-tib, even though the scent of musk will be emanating from their pure bodies. So now you're wearing these beautiful dresses, you have drinks, and also you have fragrance, you have perfumes. So imagine like in this dunya. Anybody knows what is the commandment when it comes to this dunya, perfume wise, sense wise, for us as girls? What is the commandment?
So don't wear too much makeup.
Very good, excellent. So don't to wear too much that it's like you wear it for yourself, but not that its fragrance is going too far off to attract other people and creating that mischief in the society.
You also shouldn't wear it that much in the masjid.
Very good. So same thing, like even at that the
And it should not, like, it should not be used smells for perfectly, since it doesn't, in masjid we don't put
So again, the idea is like it doesn't cause evil, or it doesn't cause the wrong attraction. So imagine if this is reference to the masjid, then what about going to our high schools, or going to our jobs, or going to a marketplace for an errand, or somewhere like that? So what's the commandment there, right? So imagine those people who refrain from them. Now they are wearing what? Oud at-tib. So that's what they're getting. So the tayyib, that's pure perfume are there, and imagine the how fragrant would that be. Now what will happen is that inshallah, if you visualize, then inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it happen, and inshallah we will arrive there. So we see that in Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah said, who those who will enter paradise, their vessels will be of gold and silver, their combs will be of gold, and the coals of their incense burners will be of aloe wood, and the of oud at-tib, and their sweat will be musk. So again, a more crisper visualization even of those incense burners. And if you have ever gone to like some amazing, even when people go for Hajj and Umrah, there are some tents which you will be smelling the bahoor and all the beautiful scents coming out from that place. So it just adds the ambience of the place, and it just makes it just much more inviting. Subhanallah. Now, what kind of a dress have you ever dreamt of? Can you think of any story of any time, like there was a certain dress which was on your mind and then you got it, or some recollection in your life? I want everybody to visualize right from your childhood, growing up, is there some dress that stood out for you? And there's a story behind that dress. Like I remember when I was growing up, there was a lot of, it was very in that you have frocks with frills, right? And there were not like a lot of shops that we can go and just buy the clothing. People usually, had to have like tailors made it. And my mom made that, and I still remember that white frill dress with red ruffles on it. So it was like so amazing thing. Then I do fast forward. I have a ceremony going on here outside in the open. This is like, I'm visualizing, this is probably they were 13, yeah. So probably a decade ago. So probably a decade ago, almost 10 years ago, I remember there was an end of year ceremony happening, and there is this sister wearing a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful abaya. She's on the stage, and I had recently started studying about Quran and changing my wardrobe, and I need to look more like a Muslimah. And I'm thinking in my mind, you know what, when she gets done, I'm going to ask her that, can I borrow your dress, because I have a wedding to go to. And it looks so like nice. It covered her properly, yet it had that elegance in it. So I was like, let me, after the event, let me go and ask her, can I borrow this? Because I have a very like first-hand cousin's marriage coming in, all the family is coming, and I don't want to dress up, with all those blings and all those kind of things anymore in a mixed gathering. So then sitting right there, all of a sudden it struck to me that why do I need to ask her? Why don't just I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I should just make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah, you can give her, why can't, you give it to me as well? So I just made dua, and I left it at that. And I met her, I said, mashallah, this will look really beautiful. And I went home. Evening, my mother-in-law called me, and she said, you know what, I got an abaya for you, because the wedding is coming up. So I bought an abaya for you, and I'm sending it for you. And subhanAllah, it still gives me goosebumps how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfills your du'as. It could be anybody who is the carrier and get that reward and ajr. But it's amazing. When it came, it had like similar, like the bell-shaped like sleeves, very elegant flowing sleeves and all that. And the whole dress was a beautiful ambience. And probably I wore it like so much. Then eventually somebody asked me of it, and then I had given it to them that, she loved the design, and she was asking, I want to copy this design. And why don't you have it? That's how I passed it forward. So I want you to think about, is there any dress that have really stood out in my life? Anything from your side that you're able to think? Hmm? And then visualize yourself in Jannah. Like in Jannah, the lady's dress, it will be even 70 layers, and still the beauty of the shin will be showing. So when we see all these princess movies and all that, and we see those flowing dresses and whatnot, so inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept amazing dresses for us in Jannah. And the clothing and the jewelry of the people of paradise will never wear out or fade. So even whenever you go back to your jewelry drawer, sometimes you open up and you're like, oh my God, this stone has fallen down. Some hook is broken apart. You wore it and it's so worn out that, like it just opens up and it's not like some piece breaks or something or the other happens. So even in the clothing, sometimes, like they become old and they start ripping apart. Sometimes you put them in certain places in your house which can be more warmer, and those blings and things have glue on it and they are just falling apart, or you wash them and the color just changes. It's just like a faded color now. So but the clothing of Jannah, they are never wearing out or fading. How do we know that? Abu Hurairah anhu said that Rasulullah said, whoever enters paradise is blessed and will never be miserable. Let's make dua, Allah make us of those. And his clothes will never wear out and his youth will never fade away. Sahih Muslim. So you won't probably realize at this stage, but inshallah when you will start growing older and you will realize, subhanallah, in when you're young, how your fresh skin and everything looks so fresh, but how you're getting old, things start happening. But that's not gonna happen in Jannah. So we really, really ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who will be successful, those who will be entering Jannah, inshallah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us, learn, rise and shine here with Quran and Sunnah, so that inshallah we can enjoy the perks and benefits of Jannah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-jannatul firdaus wa na'udhu bika minan nar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.